Have we just defeated Gary Gensler as he speaks on CNBC? And it sure sounds like a spot ETF is definitely coming. Coinbase is going to sue the SEC after the judgment came down saying they are not going to introduce new legislation to regulate crypto. Arbitrum, the layer 2 on Ethereum, is down. We have an update on that. And Bonk continues to go bonkers. As the Solana phone sells out, we have special in-guest studio, Evan Aldo, AJ Wrights Crypto. We're going to get into some TA and some charts and some Bitcoin crypto. Let's get into it.
It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we're the entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel. Take old, boring, stale information, repackage that thing up in a fun and sexy way. Bitcoin's moving, Solana's sold out, and we've been out here partying in Vegas. We've had a ton of different people in town of noteworthy, and I'm excited, man. We're gonna go to fight tonight?
Are we or am I?
Are you going?
I'm planning on it.
All right, we're gonna go to karate fight tonight. Karate combat in town today here in Las Vegas, and so we had the Web3 Influencer Awards yesterday. We've had a little meet and greet with George from Cryptos R Us. He's gonna be joining us on Sunday as well. So we're gonna have a special live stream coming up this weekend, and so packed house. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of this content. And people are just strolling in here at the last second.
Let's go.
That's what we do here. So
that's what we do,
man.
I do want to say, this weekend there's a lot of fights. A lot of fights going. Karate combat tonight. We got the UFC weigh-ins tonight, and then we have a UFC fight tomorrow that I'm going to. I mean, and we have Leon Edwards and Colby Covington. I do want to say crazy. It's a welterweight title fight. But, none of them are the world champion of crypto and Web3 that responsibility is now mine to carry the torch for the entire community.
I would cover your jaw, AJ. I feel like
so shout out to each and every one of you. And dude, Seth, are you going to punch me in the face or should I keep scooting over to the right?
I'm concerned. I'm looking a little concerned.
These are my lover gloves, not my fighter gloves. So bring it in, buddy. No, we were just excited that we're all here in Las Vegas, getting to see everybody. The amount of excitement that we've seen for the last couple of days from the crypto people. This is frankly the thing that sets Karate Combat apart from anything else. And I realize I'm kind of shilling, but it's tonight. We're all here. The excitement's real. Getting to hang out with some of the homies and then meet new friends. Get to see what they're like under pressure, right? And around conflict. That's when you really know what a relationship is made of, is when there's some conflict. And the nice thing about events and fight sport like Karate Combat is, it's, at least for dudes, from male culture, this is an acceptable form of conflict resolution. We get past it.
It is
right?
the epitome of testosterone.
Yeah.
I'm happy. So the gentleman sitting next to you is RC. We talked about your fight on the show yesterday, RC. And when I saw you, I said, "Hey, man, fighting a big dude. You're the one fighting Crow." And I don't know. You had some kind words, I believe. You want to share some of those words?
You're fighting Crow?
Yeah. I said the bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Hey. You hear that, Crow?
Yeah, Crypto Crow's a big man. He's a great man, but you have to put metal to the road, and we'll see what happens in the Dominican Republic.
Be there.
Also, a lot of talk is kind of trash. It's always actions for me, so we'll see what happens.
I like it, man. It's gonna be a fight we're excited about. We also have Evan Aldo joining us. It's his second time on the show, first time in studio. Is going to be doing some TA for us. Evan, how you doing, man?
Doing amazing. Loving what the charts are looking like right now. It's one of those times in crypto. It's just so exciting. So I love it.
People are making money. Yeah. FOMO's kicking in. Greed is kicking in. And speaking of kicking, we're apparently kicking Gary Gensler in the behind as he apparently has given up on denying us what we truly deserve, which is a Bitcoin spot ETF.
Approval process going for a spot Bitcoin ETF. I know you're facing a window in early January. What does that look like?
Well, Sarah, we have, I think it's between 8 and a dozen filings. I'm a chair of a commission. I'm not to prejudge anything, so that's going through the process right now. And as you might know, we had in the past denied a number of these applications, but the courts here in the District of Columbia weighed in on that. And so we're taking a new look at this based upon those court rulings.
Market's excited about.
Pretty much said the courts poured cold water all over me and my agency. And then we have this. Bloomberg analyst James Seyfert foresees half one. So the first 6 months of 2024 U.S. approval for spot Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF. He reiterated his prediction that the window for a potential spot ETF approval is likely between January 8th and January 10th. That is the final deadline for Cathie Wood, ARK Investment. And the assumption is, as this article states, that they're going to approve multiple at the same time, right? BlackRock's final deadline is not till the end or the middle of March. But if you're going to approve one first, it has to be ARK, right? Really can't deny ARK and then come approve BlackRock. All the applications are pretty much the same. He suggested that the SEC has strategically delayed decisions on the ETF. And again, it's going to approve multiple at the same time to avoid giving any single firm a competitive advantage. Now, he did also talk about Ethereum ETFs. He said that he views the prospect of spot Ether ETFs as a completely different challenge. He acknowledged potential arguments the SEC might use to delay Ether ETFs, such as differences in market maturity and Ethereum's proof of stake model. However, he remains optimistic about eventual approvals, likely by the end of May. Robin, let me ask you first, man. That video, that confirms it all, right? That all but confirms an ETF.
I would say so. I mean, he's basically saying that he's been strong-armed by the court system to approve a spot Bitcoin ETF. I know we talk about this spot Bitcoin ETF, but every day I would assume in the last
it deserves to be talked
since
about.
the last couple months. But there's a reason for that. You have the largest market in the world, the New York Stock Exchange, offering Bitcoin spot. Basically, they're using the exchange, or they're using the New York Stock Exchange almost like the exchange that we use day to day, like Coinbase, like Kraken, like Binance. Instead of us logging in and buying it there, this is an interface. I know it's not exactly that, but I'm just trying to put it in terms that we can understand or something we're familiar with. It's a platform interface for traditional investors, people that trade on Wall Street, to buy Bitcoin. Not only is it for traders, but it's also for institutions, hedge funds, retirement accounts, the 401ks. So the list goes on and on. The largest market in the world, trillions of dollars of trading volume, and you're going to have an opportunity to buy and also trade Bitcoin. I know we have a futures ETF on Bitcoin, but there's going to be a lot more leveraging of trading on the New York Stock Exchange than there is on the CME. Just explosion of liquidity, volume. It's just good for our space. I do think we'll break all-time highs after this passes.
Guys, keep in mind, the 8 to 12 ETF filers combined assets under management is almost or a little bit over $20 trillion. That's trillion with a T. I got a question. We got a lot of people in studio here. Is anyone not extremely bullish on a Bitcoin spot ETF?
Me.
Who said me? Seth? Oh, God, okay. Seth, explain yourself, and it better be a damn good explanation.
Wait, before you go, I want you guys to know, anytime there's like a general consensus and we all like agree on something and say kumbaya, do you know who disagrees with it just for the sake of disagreement? Seth.
If he's got a good... Listen, man.
Seth.
I think it's good to have differing views as long as you're not talking out of your behind. So, Seth, why are you not bullish on an ETF, man?
The reason I'm not bullish on an ETF is because ETFs are not necessarily bullish for Bitcoin. Let me back this up just a little bit. Yes, 20 trillion of assets under management sounds really, really great if you can actually realize that liquidity in the markets. There's no guarantee that you will. The most recent clarification on the ETF is that realistically, BlackRock doesn't give a shit about you or me. They want only qualified investors. They want only a certain type of person. They only respect the color of money from a specific type of customer. And it ain't us, right? So frankly, yeah, Carlin had it right. It's one big club. We're not in it. And it continues with the ETF. Beyond that, rejection of ETFs, rejections of spot ETFs in cycles past have not necessarily created a downturn in the markets. And it's not necessarily this is a correlation or direct correlation of what will happen when it's approved, that it won't give it upside. It's that I don't think it's going to give it that ridiculous upside. When people say, yeah, I'm ridiculously bullish about an ETF, I'm like, why? Getting them rejected in the past.
I'm ridiculously bullish.
But the rejections haven't necessarily caused. I mean, you can't short the rejections.
Seth,
That's my
you're
point.
looking
If you
at-
can't short the rejections, why do you think you can
look-
long the approvals?
You're looking at one side of it. It is literally, it's plain and simple. It's not about opinion. The money will flow in. You talk about BlackRock doesn't care about anyone but the color of green.
Well,
don't we want those people
but
coming and
David-
investing in Bitcoin?
David, that's just like your opinion, bro.
That's just like
Well-
your opinion said.
The thing is, the ETF is, it's more of price gets factored in typically before the thing actually happens. When the spot ETF actually comes to fruition, you could have a correction. But in the long scheme of things, it is obviously a bullish sign. Anything that shows more utility, anything where more people are potentially going to get into Bitcoin is bullish on the macro. That's for the next 10 years. But in terms of the ETF actually coming out, I could see some turbulence.
I agree specifically with what Evan is saying about this time frames, right? So it's always a question not just of probabilities, because being right too early is being wrong, and being wrong being right only midterm when you're talking about a long-term play is still being wrong. And that's where for me I'm like, hey, this is uninformed optimism. It's irrational exuberance over the possibility of this ETF being passed, and I think people's targets are too high. That's why I'm not bullish.
You're insane, bro.
Let me ask you something. MicroStrategy buying Bitcoin at the frequency that they do and those large chunk buys that they do with the long-term hodl mentality, that's a good thing, right? We can all say that that's good for the market, right? Good for the space. Now, just multiply that by another 20 or 40 companies, right? Think about all the companies that can now get exposure to Bitcoin. They don't have to go through the hassles of custodying it themselves. They don't have to go through the loopholes or who's custodying it. You know what? The custodial agent is BlackRock, and as long as they don't drop the ball,
Technically, it's Coinbase.
Yeah, exactly. But at the top, the front interface,
They're the ones that run the ETF. They're in charge.
is BlackRock also, and then the custodial keys will be managed by Coinbase. But now there are other ETFs as we mentioned. Was it up to 11 now? You said
Close. I think it's the number's 12.
12. And now, you're going to have a handful of companies that put in a similar position to MicroStrategy. And now I don't know if they're going to go quite as heavy as that, but perhaps they'll start getting exposure. They'll start putting some of their treasury assets, instead of putting it into gold and into bonds and other ETFs, they can allocate a little bit to that. Now just multiply that by 20, 30 different companies.
Screw the companies. What about these baby boomers who are sitting on $60 trillion? $60 trillion. Some of them are having to go back into the workforce because inflation. Imagine a baby boomer going in, they're 55, 60 years old. Hey, man, if I don't start getting some money in, I'll start on, an annuity, whatever the case, I'm going to have to go back to work. What are we doing here? Hey, listen, man, we got new access to Bitcoin. The halving's coming. There's going to be a supply shock. We're going to get an inflow of money. All right, cool. Yeah, let's put 2, 3, 4, 5% in there. Multiply that by God knows how many. And there you have.
All right, real quick, we do have 215 people here, a lot of new people in the chat, but I'm not seeing a lot of new names here. So if you are new here, first time watcher, put something in the chat. Say hello. We'll drop an hola back at you. We do have Keenan, Crypto Warlock, BC Alf, Doc Juan, and then also Mike Vollmer gifted 5 memberships. So to all of you, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. Also, we only got 85 likes, so hit the like button.
Damn!
Hey!
What is that?
Got a new like sign here.
I see.
Yeah, this
Man.
is compliments of some of the fans here.
Michael and Kelly.
Michael and Kelly.
So I met Michael and Kelly last night
Hey,
at
man,
the.
look at this. Bam!
So Kelly, what
Hit
is
the like button if you like the sign, and it's also got a backside.
that thing is so dope. So I was talking to Kelly and Michael yesterday. They're part of our community. Super nice couple. Kelly, what is it? Crystal? What is it called? Crystal Ninja. She bedazzles she showed me a bedazzled elevator. There you go. Say hi, guys. Wave hi. You're on camera. Well, maybe you don't want to be on camera. Who knows? But too late. So she showed me a bedazzled elevator. And then when I walked up, the first thing they came up to say, hey, we got a present for you. I was like, oh, nice. And I wasn't gonna open it. He's like, you should open it now. And I pulled it out, man. I was like, this thing is badass. I wanted to keep it for myself, but I let Robin have it because, he was not very happy. Before we move forward, I do want to give a big thank you also to our channel sponsor, Cam's Blue Wire Technology. If you're in a business and you own a business and you want to maximize your networking, IT, and your cybersecurity, you're going to want to give Cam's Blue Wire Tech a call or visit bluewiretech.com. Or if you're lazy, just click the link in the description of this video. I want to know what the chat thinks. Do you guys agree with Seth? Not bullish on an ETF, or do you agree with literally everyone else that is bullish on an ETF?
One for Seth, two for
Everyone.
Yeah,
Two for the field.
Yeah,
Guys, throw those ones up. Throw them up.
You're not going to get ones.
I get it. Sometimes you don't want the big boys playing our space. This is crypto. This is a crypto land. Like leave it alone.
Listen, Satoshi's vision of peer-to-peer is gone. Okay, can we all agree to that?
Satoshi Vision. Don't bring up that.
Well, not your keys,
on,
not
man.
your coins. Not
Come
your
on,
keys,
man.
Not your coins.
You can use a different terminology there, man.
Also, big shout out to AJ who won. Got a sweet little belt there, man.
Thank you.
He wanted me to refer to him as a world champion. I said it's only Vegas, man.
I mean, yesterday was pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Like, last year the Web3 Influencers Awards was in Miami, and I was there, like, with Ben, like traveling and stuff, and was just like a face in the crowd watching the Influencer Awards happen. And now, like, I finally have my own YouTube page. It's only been going for 6 weeks, and to win an award like this early in the thing, it just shows when you come out swinging, people really like kind of vibe with that. And I just like really have just been so grateful for the entire crypto Web3 community. And I'm just like seriously grateful for the recognition. And I'm definitely I'm gonna own it way too hard and call myself the world champion, obviously, because I am. But no, I'm super grateful for everybody, and it's awesome. I'm super glad to be here.
We're excited for you, buddy.
Crazy, man.
You deserve it, my friend.
Thank you.
Especially with those sweet blue Burberry glasses.
Thank you.
Before we get into the charts, I do want to share this. We talked about Solana phone yesterday, right? We talked about it in our Solana video, which you haven't checked it out. I think Solana's going to get to $1,000. You got to watch the video to find out why. But the phone sold out. So yesterday, news came out that the Solana phone has an airdrop of Bonk tokens. And with Bonk rallying, the tokens in the phone is worth more than the cost of the actual phone. So we had people going online and purchasing the phone essentially for free, as long as they get their phone in time. I know Evan had bought a phone.
I did.
I know Goody bought a phone. I was too late to the party. I don't think Robin bought a phone. Are you going to sell your Bonk immediately when you get your phone? Are you a hodler?
So I will tell you exactly what I'm going to do, and I'll show you on the chart when
Please,
I'm
go
going
ahead,
to sell.
man. Please,
So
take it away, brother.
Bonk looks pretty good, strong right now. I'm in actually a long on Bonk. Hopefully we get up to this point, take some profits on Bonk. Looks like a good setup. But what I'm really looking for, and this is a good thing to look at, especially on Market Cypher, for finding, the local tops of a lot of these rallies, or the all-time tops. I mean, let's be real. Sometimes, it could be for when they go to crazy like this. Bearish div I'm looking for on the daily right here. Once we get the next red dot, money flow starts to come down while these momentum start to come down as well. That's exactly what I'm looking for. That could happen in a month or two, potentially. I'm not saying that's going to be the top ever, but, that would be a good signal to potentially look to take some profits. I think we got a few more weeks here, potentially. I do like how it looks as well on the 2-day right here. Money flow is still strong, some continuation. But as we get the next red dot, get a bear div, that could finally kind of bring us down. But as of right now, it's being listed on a lot of exchanges. There ain't much stopping it right now. It could keep going. I mean, if we look at, last thing I'll show you right here. I mean, if we look at just the real short term, you break out of this kind of bull pennant, our technical target is going to be around whatever this number is.
A lot of zeros.
Yeah, a lot of freaking, let's do another 50% up potentially. That's a place to look. Yeah, that's a place to look. So.
They just got a Coinbase listing. They got a Binance listing. They got a KuCoin listing. Their trading volume just surpassed Doge and SHIB over the number is 1.37 billion in trading volume. People are going bonkers for Bonk. Any other people in the studio here, any word of advice for maybe someone new or trying to catch the hype train here on Bonk? Is it too late? Talked about this a couple days ago. Bonk was at about a 1.1 billion market cap. Rob and I both said probably not a good time. You would have listened to us, you'd have missed out on a 2x. But is it really worth the risk to reward? Does anyone have any comment or thoughts on maybe someone who's new or someone who's looking to get into Bonk?
Good. Oh. Well, here's the thing is that like if you're looking for a meme coin play, there's always a meme coin play that's yet to be discovered that's going to go up a few %1,000%. It happens every day. That's the meme market, and there's a specific segment of traders that specifically target finding gem altcoins. But when you look at Bonk objectively of like, okay, this is a meme coin, a Solana ecosystem. The announcement for Coinbase, super big, the connection to the phone, all that. This thing is going to continue to have momentum. When it was just at $1 billion, I thought to myself, okay, this is no longer in my mind like just another meme coin. This is, now a project that is, I think, in the top 50 by market cap, almost a $2 billion coin. But at the end of the day, it's not even at 2 billion yet. This thing could keep going to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like it easily could run. We've seen the mass adoption through meme coin narrative time and time again. But so my point here is that is there still money to be made on Bonk? Definitely, for sure. But is it the meme coin pick right now? No, it was a month ago though. And the next Bonk type gains are not going to be found in Bonk again. It's going to be another coin that does the 1000x, but not saying you won't double or triple your money eventually. I mean, that's how it works.
I'll say that if you feel like you missed the meme coin train, you feel like you missed out, and there's going to be tons of. We're in the beginning of the bull market. There's going to be a ton more altcoins, meme coins, speculative plays. So don't feel like you missed out. I would just, if you feel like you got that FOMO and you just want to go pull in a bit, pull the trigger on a big buy on Bonk, be careful.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Fellas, can I shill another creator who's kind of in the creator network here? There's a guy who's in town right now. He's attached to the Karate Combat event. He's
Why is he here?
Influencer fight because we couldn't get his ass into the car to come over. I tried to bring as many people as I could, guys. I'm sorry. I'll work harder.
What's wrong?
I'll work harder to bring you more guests. But that's Rodney, right? So Crypto Journey, he's gonna be fighting in this upcoming Influencer Fight Club event, and he does a regular live stream that's very, very degen. I think it might make Evan blush a little bit because he talks about this stuff way too early. But this is Rodney and then Jerry from Crypto Blood. They're doing a regular weekly live stream. That's just every week where they talk about some of the most degenerate and speculative out there stuff, but it's good. They find some good stuff. And that's the way that you sniff out some of that early alpha. Like AJ's saying, you got to be really careful. Major caveat emptor. I don't think AJ's trying to shill you anything or ever trying to tell you that there's something that's too early because that's his ass on the line with the SEC. But
we're here to here to help you make money. So we're gonna give you the plays. You want to pull the trigger on it or not? That's entirely up to you.
Exactly.
But just know that the smaller the market cap, just to keep it in the simplest way, the smaller the market cap, the newer the project, the more risk you're gonna take. And for every one meme coin that we sit here and talk about after it's 1000x. There's also 1,000 meme coins that have went to zero and people just lost everything. So the chances you hit striking out are pretty substantial. The chances you hitting a home run are few to none. But if you stay tuned to what is trending, you stay tuned channels like Sin City Crypto, or what was the other one you just mentioned?
Crypto Blood.
Crypto Blood. Yeah, we know.
Who's Crypto Blood?
And Journey. Yeah. So check them out as well. Basically, the more info you gather, especially if you're going to some high risk plays, the more info, the better, the more well suited you're going to be to make money in altcoins.
I'd like to inject a little bit just in regards to gem hunting. You want to look at, in regards to Bonk, you kind of want to look at Pepe, right? Look at the chart for Pepe. It's a similar kind of situation. So your X's have already kind of happened already, but I would recommend, like Seth mentioned, there are a lot of different new gem hunters. One is Crypto Journey. One is Crypto Seth, a new guy that's actually participating in Karate Combat. And they have Discords, right? So you want to get in projects early. And just like someone mentioned earlier, the bull run is just starting. You want to get into projects early. You want to identify those projects early. And you want to invest as early and often as possible. And you'll see those gains anyway. So you didn't miss anything with Bonk. But tie on to a couple influencers that are, I call them gem hunters. Get into their Discords. And that's how you win with this upcoming bull run.
Yeah. Don't forget about Bitcoin and Ethereum as well. I know some of us in the room might might fade.
A lot of
Bitcoin.
degenerates here.
They might fade Bitcoin and Ethereum, but for my personal strategy on my portfolio is a solid bedrock of Bitcoin and Ethereum on a long-term play. And then I got my degen portfolio as well, where that's where I make my money, swing for the fences. But my retirement, my kids' money, it's in Bitcoin and Ethereum.
And I think that's a safe pick. And what I say time and time again when you're trying to plan out your future, your goals in crypto is to align your coin selection with your goals. It is that simple. I'll say that I've said it before, and I'll probably say it 1,000 more times. Is that we have to, like, pragmatically speaking, if Bitcoin doubles its price from right now, it's already at new all-time highs. So we can't expect Bitcoin to 5x to 10x. But Bitcoin is a safe pick, especially if you're holding it for years and years and years and years. You want to hold it for 10, 20 years. But but then you kind of look at the coins that have the potential to 5 and 10x is when you kind of like go to CoinMarketCap and look at every coin from ICP below. Those are the coins that have the market cap that makes sense, that they have the potential to 5 to 10x. So, if you are trying to swing for the fences and you want a 10, 20x your goal, holding Bitcoin and Ethereum isn't probably the best move just based off of simple math and what's possible with the market cap. If you're trying to 10x, you have to go down a little bit further on the list. That's why I buy a lot of Algorand, a lot of Quant, a lot of, H-bar near the graph, coins like that.
You're crazy if you think Bitcoin's not going to 10x.
It's
Yeah.
not. There's no
it's
run,
not.
no way. You have a better
maybe
chance
not-
getting
maybe-
pregnant.
okay,
You know what?
Maybe in
I'm glad
dollar
you guys-
value it will, but not in
I'm glad
buying
you guys
power.
talking about price of Bitcoin. First of all, what's Joe Biden think of the price of Bitcoin in his future?
It's
What
going high.
does Joe Biden think about tying his own goddamn shoes today? Sorry, I don't think that's a relevant question personally. But let me add this also, just really briefly. After a couple of altcoin seasons being involved in crypto mining and in advising small speculative minds, you have to look at during the altcoin season after Bitcoin has its run up. One simple trick: if you just want to be a knuckle dragger like the miners and just say, okay, I want to put some of this thesis on easy mode. When you're on CoinGecko or any other comparative tool, flip from fiat pricing into Bitcoin pricing and figure out whether or not your bag appreciated against Bitcoin. If it didn't, you held a loser. If it did, then you can go ahead and you can take your profits in Bitcoin if you want to, because it's strong relative to Bitcoin.
All right, now that we've been talking about Bitcoin and its prices, Evan, you got any charts?
Oh, yeah.
Let's take a look at Bitcoin. What do you think the charts are saying?
So right now, this is one of those times, just to start out for Bitcoin, we're kind of range bound. We're in the low 40Ks, and this is beautiful for altcoins to just outperform Bitcoin and just start to run up. And we want to just keep Bitcoin above 40K right here. Now, if you see the main pattern we have right now, 2 red Heikin-Ashi candles, a green Heikin-Ashi candle right after it, looks more like a bull pennant pattern. That's pretty good price action to continue potentially upward to around 45K and then potentially up to 48K. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. It could take a little bit of time for that to happen. Now, money flow still looking pretty good on the 2-day. Your VWAP starting to come up here on MarketSite for a bit. Nothing looking too bad. It looks like VWAP coming up on the daily looks like you may get that continuation eventually up to 45. Again, we're just kind of range bound right now. What we could eventually form here is potentially some type of reverse head and shoulder pattern and then eventually break up towards the end of the month, December 20th. So that could be in a week or more and potentially break up to those points. Technical target, if you do break up to those points, neckline right there would be approximately 46, 47K. My guess is that, you're going to start to get diminished returns on the way up, some more range-bound action. And if we look at the real short term here, pretty neutral. You got money flow coming out, trigger wave to the downside. You may get a little bit more bearish action in the short term. However, when I look at the hourly, anchor wave right here. So a very range-bound market, a nice kind of scalper's market for Bitcoin. What I like, though, is when I look at real quick the ETH versus Bitcoin chart, rare bullish signs. This is what Seth was saying a second ago. 3-day, money flow coming up, 2-day, bull div. Just to zoom out here, this is important. This is for long term.
This is ETH versus Bitcoin.
This is ETH versus Bitcoin. We're at the lows of 22. I mean, we have bled against Bitcoin freaking 40%. I think this is a no-brainer. Not financial advice, but I think this is a no-brainer. Convert Bitcoin to ETH, buy some ETH, but not financial advice.
That's, I think it's, Seth mentioned it too, swapping from US dollar to Bitcoin. I think it's also important to look at if you want to maximize your gains, if something is not performing better than Bitcoin, then just put the damn money in Bitcoin. It's
Right.
safer. It's been around the
Facts.
longest. It's the kingpin of the crypto world, right? Now, obviously, I agree with you, man. This is a great spot to buy Ethereum. I don't know if how bullish you're on Bitcoin, but maybe rotating some of your Bitcoin money into ETH, and then once that starts to appreciate, then rotate it back into Bitcoin. I do want to share this. This is from Rec Capital. So this is Bitcoin on the 1 year. So history suggests Bitcoin will convincingly break past 46K in the new candle 4 in 2024. So this is essentially the cycle of Bitcoin. You have candle 1, you see that massive run up, candle 2, bear market, candle 3, typically consolidation. We do, as you can see here, end in the green. And this has been the best third year in the Bitcoin cycle going back to its inception in 2011. So what's that fourth candle going to look like? Any thoughts on this? I'll start with you first, RC.
You go first.
Okay, so
Seth.
hi, my name is RC,
Hi.
also known as Moon Daddy.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I changed gloves and it's a whole new look. But-
I was a bad boy. I'm sorry.
I hope you pay attention
I
in
was
the ring,
texting-
bro.
I was texting my daughter.
I was just kidding.
Wow.
I'm,
Yeah,
I'm,
right?
I'm excused. I was texting my daughter.
And yeah, never sleep in the ring. It ends poorly. So no, I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited about the recent price action on Bitcoin. It's been really exciting because we have, for some of us, the thesis has been that we were off to a false start. Right, with the initial run up, a lot of us are calling for some kind of a correction, some kind of a retracement. And so being able to see that for those, again, the knuckle draggers, we're like, oh, cool, maybe I get to hop on the bus before it takes off. That's been a really exciting just thing to witness. But I mean, I'm a guy that looks at like weekly charts. I'm a guy that looks at like daily charts. And the most fine grained I get is to like 4 hours because I'm really just zooming out all the time to figure out, did I make the right trade or did I invest the right way in the last like 2 weeks? And then, yeah, much more of an investor mindset than a trader. So for me, I'm just excited. It's like, oh, cool. Big, dumb, gross movement down. Maybe I can still catch this.
All right, real quick, I do want to give a little love to the chat. If you are new here, say hello so we can drop an hola back at you. We got Daquan, O'Shift, Redfin, Sal, Rudy Lane, Obese Crypto, Pabs, Juan E, Scott W, Dr. K Ice, Keenan, Robert Hawkins, Sun Gods, Travis M, Zenib, Ill Something, and your new stepdad. To all of you, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. Also got a $4.99 super chat from Keenan. He's bullish on AJ's accomplishments. And then we're about 150 likes, but 355 people watching. We got less than a 50% like ratio. So do us a favor, hit the like button. And then for those of you that are new, our slogan here is Hola. So let's get an Hola train. If you're not familiar with what that is, just type Hola in the chat. We want to see how many Holas we can get scrolling through the chat. So 350 people watching. Let's see if we can get Hola written in here 300 times. That'd be kind of cool. We got the chat here pulled up in front of us, so it's always fun to see that Hola tidal wave. So
Also, make sure you're subscribed and ping a notification bell.
and also we're looking for our newest whale member. We got a cool little animation for that. So if you
Talking about this animation.
I know. Well, we were waiting for the newest whale member. I think we got 10 whale members, right?
11.
Yeah, 11.
All right, let's
Back,
take a look
David.
at the rest of the or RC. Sorry,
I'm back,
You have something
David.
to say, brother? Go
I'm
ahead.
back. Yeah, you know, my philosophy is more of a traditional finance guy, so I'm more of an investor, sort of like Seth. And if you look at the overall crypto market, almost 1.7 trillion, with Bitcoin being 49% of that, then, you know, it's a store of value. I think you should definitely have a position with Bitcoin, maybe 50% of your crypto portfolio. But that's kind of my philosophy, and as well as Ethereum. But also, I'm more of a gem hunter, so I like the 1000x's as 1000x potential as opposed to a 10x. So that's kind of where I'm at. And I saw my buddy Tom Crown on Twitter today. He mentioned TA 60% of the time it's accurate, so 100% of the time. So we'll see, right?
100% of the time, 60% of the time.
Works every time.
All right, let's get into the rest of the markets here. We got ETH sitting at 2246. Everything's in the red, at least in the top 100, with the exception of Solana, $76.74.
Boo.
Again, we did do a video on this. It's got like 3,500 views. Go check it out. It's a really good video.
Yeah.
Talk about why we think it's going to get to $1,000. And there is a traditional financial company that I compare it to, and that's how I get my valuation of $1,000 a token. Make sure to go check that out. Cardano up 17% on the week, but down on the day, 1.8%. DAC down to 62.5 cents. Avalanche back over $41 again. This thing is pumping up 3% over the last 1 hour alone, the largest gainer in the top 10 over the last hour. Evan, let's stop right here. Avalanche, I want exposure. I want to get entry, but I want the best price possible. What are some levels I should be looking at?
So, yeah, let's look at Avalanche. I love Avalanche, man. I mean, let's just take a look right here. So obviously it's up a lot. You're at a big place, $40 is, a big level right here. Look at these wicks back here of May 21. No doubt about it, you're at a big place. However, I'm hoping we are and what I think we are is in the disbelief phase, the hope rally kind of, so we can potentially continue forward. Looking at this money flow on the weekly, we are coming into the green right here. First time this has happened since October 22. Very rare macro bullish sign right here. Also, looking like you potentially could jump up a little bit higher, up to $50 right here. Here's a trade setup that I've kind of had, and I think you got a good shot of jumping up. That would be our technical target right here, around 48. Next kind of major point. So, don't underestimate some of these altcoin rallies. Do not underestimate it. They could keep going. What we need to keep in mind here is the place I would be a little bit more concerned. If you look here on our, trying to zoom in on it, but it won't work. But money flow starting to come out in the 3-day. You get a bearish div. That would likely end the fun. When could that happen? Sometime early next year. It looks good. It still looks pretty good. As long as you hold this level here around $40, that's generally going to be pretty bullish. Technical target out of this jump up, going to be up to, $50. That could be potentially the next place. Levels to get in, though. I mean, these are known to have decent corrections. Say we come up to, $50, get a correction down 40%, $30. That would be hopeful. That would be still pretty healthy. That'd be a good place to look. But I like to DCA instead. I don't really set limit orders. So
yeah. I think DCA is always, if you just want to set it and forget it, just DCA. You're going to catch some highs. You're also going to catch some lows. But if you do it over a long period of time, it's all going to average out. That's the point. Dollar cost average.
Sure.
Speaking of average, it seems like the Arbitrum network is quite average. It has gone down. Arbitrum is down on network traffic surge. This is something that Solana was having issues with. Arbitrum, a layer 2 Ethereum network, suffered a partial outage early today due to a surge in network activity. It's a quote from the post on X on Twitter from the project. The Arbitrum 1 sequencer stalled at 10:29 a.m. Eastern Standard Time during a significant surge in network traffic. We are working to resolve this as quickly as possible, and we'll provide a post-mortem as soon as possible. Some people are saying it's these damn inscriptions. It's these damn inscriptions. This is from the actual Arbitrum website, and it looks like this thing is still down. It says they're investigating it. Seth, let me ask you first, man.
Sure.
What do you know about this, and what are your thoughts in general? And is this something that would worry you if you are using Arbitrum or maybe an investor of Arbitrum?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, to take that in reverse order, I think anytime you see that there's a network outage, it's a cause for concern, and it rattles investor confidence. Just full stop. I don't care what project you're working with. I don't care what kind of VC backing you have. If the blockchain stops writing blocks, people get concerned about their investment in the token. It's just a fact, even if it is otherwise mostly sound. Now, for me, I'm a bit of a decentralization maxi. I don't like hearing there's a single solitary relayer or sequencer that stopped working and that shut down the network. Not cool. Bearish for the decentralization. I'm bearish on the decentralization of this project now. That said, Ethereum virtual machine clones, so projects that function similar to Ethereum that you could use MetaMask to operate, this is a known risk, right? And we saw this, got an early preview with Ethereum in CryptoKitty days, and then Sunflower Farm on Polygon, and then the random attacks on Solana. It's just totally possible to write a so-called abusive smart contract that takes the network really down to a crawl, but you don't expect it to completely shut the network down, just kind of back up the mempool, right? Basically tell the blockchain, hey, you got a lot to think about. Maybe think about this over a few days instead of instantaneously. And then the gas fee marketplace works itself out, and it, like a free market should, it works itself out over time as long as it doesn't break. But if it breaks, you no longer have a blockchain, no longer writing blocks. Do not like bearish, for me, very, very bearish now.
Rob, what are your thoughts?
I think that this is more to come. And I don't know if it's from Arbitrum, but as we ramp up into the bull market, you're getting a ton more users. There's also more dApps. There's new hackers and people trying to attack the networks. You have the DDoS attacks as an example that has plagued Ethereum for quite some time. But I think this is going to be standard, especially when it comes to any new chains out there. And Arbitrum is a new chain, right? It hasn't been around for that long. And I think that every chain is essentially vulnerable to that. We've seen outages with Solana. Are those fixed? I mean, let's not forget, Bitcoin even had an outage back in 2013. I think they were out for 6 hours. That was the last time the Bitcoin network had any outage, had uptime for the last 10 years. But just goes to show you that nobody, not even Bitcoin, is free of having any outages at all. So I wouldn't look at this as some doomsday scenario, but it's something to keep your eye on. And I do think we're going to see more of this in the future, as long as you don't lose value. I think that's the important thing. If the network goes down and it cuts back on and nobody lost money, that's a win. But if the network goes down and people are losing money, addresses are getting compromised, or seed phrases, or there's some kind of hack or drain, then that's when that's the doomsday scenario. That's the nail in the coffin.
Evan, what is Arbitrum done price wise on the charts? I know it was down a little bit. Well, what is it? What is that setup?
Yeah, surprisingly, it's held up very, very well, which isn't always, I mean, it just looks like a normal. It's kind of just following what Bitcoin's doing, coming down a little bit, rejecting from a pretty major point right here around $1.15. I mean, it's a little bit concerning, money flow coming out. It's definitely not like the most bullish of charts in the short term. However, when we really zoom out here and we look at, some macro kind of predictions, reverse head and shoulders kind of forming on the daily here, I would say eventually, within the next 6 to 12 months, you will break up from this point and get around to our technical target all the way up here at around $1.75. Obviously with networks going down and other unforeseen circumstances, sure. I mean, it's speculative. Maybe this could go way down, make a lower low. Anything could happen. But what I would guess, as long as, Bitcoin does well, as long as, all of crypto generally does well, this probably can recover from this outage and make some highs around $1.75 within the next 6 months. So, yeah.
So we got some games going on in the studio. We got a game of musical chairs. So Seth was talking about the channel My Crypto Journey, and Rodney heard, and he's in studio.
Oh, we're
What's
here,
up, man?
baby. What's up, Sin City Crypto? Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Hey, man, thanks for showing up. Met Rodney yesterday for the first time.
Yes.
Super cool dude. I believe you are fighting in Karate Combat as well, right?
Yes, I am fighting Keeper, which, I'm going to whoop his ass. Can I say ass here?
You can say that.
Go
I'm
ahead.
going to whoop his ass.
Okay. But you guys, is there any wager on the side?
You should bet the house on me, though, if you want to make some money.
Okay,
for sure.
fair
I
enough.
think you definitely got
Bet
some reach
using
on
the
him.
Karate Combat app.
Yeah.
I think you got reach on him. I mean, I've seen a Keeper in here, and I've seen you look like you got a little.
Would you say
little
that
more
if he
length,
was
huh?
here, though, Robin? I'm curious.
What I say? Did you see our face-off yesterday?
Yeah.
Briefly, yeah.
He said
He is my son, pretty much.
Yeah, you said that you were his father.
Yeah.
I adopted
he's my
him.
son. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not part of my family.
Yesterday when I did the segment at the
Take the mic, AJ.
party,
Yeah.
Date, Marry, Destroy.
Yeah.
You push the
I'm going to
mic.
do a bunch of shorts with that. And one of them,
AJ, grab
one
the
of
mic.
them, so when I did this segment, I did this segment yesterday at the Cryptos R Us party, at the influencer party. It's Date, Marry, Destroy. And I went around and asked everybody, one coin you're going to date, one coin you're going to marry, one you're going to destroy. Anyway, so one of the shorts is going to be you and then him. Because the trash talk was real. I think that's all I need for one short is just that. And apparently, so you're his father.
Yeah, he's my son, yeah.
So
he's a little older than me. I don't know how that works. It's weird.
Okay. And so who's mom?
Mom. So no, mom's not in the picture. Actually, I'm a single dad.
Oh, okay. It's
So,
very
hashtag
brave.
Single dads. Yeah.
Was he the lonely kid at the orphanage that no one wanted?
Was yeah.
Good for you, man.
Wow, I'm
What a
excited.
guy.
I think out of all the influencer fights, to be completely honest with you, y'all, I think that's the one to watch.
Hey, I'm sorry, man. Rodney, no disrespect to you, bro. The RC Crow fight is
That's fair
intriguing
too.
because you're looking at a guy like Crow who's massive, but then you think RC played in the NFL. The dude was going up against 6'9" offensive tackles all the time. So that to me, and this is no disrespect to you, Rodney, or anyone else, but
Oh, you're disrespecting me, bro.
my bad, man. I play football, man. So for me, it's like, I want to see that fight. It's in the Dominican Republic in February. Told my wife yesterday, I was like, "You down to go?" She's like, "Well, you're not going alone, are you?" I was like, "Well, probably not."
You're like, dang,
What
dang.
she says, you're not leaving me with the kid.
Yeah, she actually, I think that's exactly what she said.
I remember that.
Rodney, now Seth said on your channel, My Crypto Journey,
Yep.
Which we'll throw the link in the chat here, that you guys you're gem hunters essentially, right?
Yeah, so I like
any quick alpha you want to give our community.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing about this run, which I think is going to be different. Because last year, during during 2000, not last year, but during the last like super cycle we had in 2021, I think the other popular chain was the BNB chain, although it was synonymous with rugs. But going into this next the run, we're seeing like all sorts of meme coins pumping on other networks. We saw Snake on Cardano. We saw COQ, which is cock. Which George tweeted about it, which is hilarious. I thought
That video was so funny.
Dude, I thought someone hacked his account. We're seeing Bonk and Myra on the Solana network. So ERC20 tokens, man, might be in a little bit of trouble. And I think a lot of people are getting upset about paying those insane fees to swap, just
It's
a
ridiculous.
small amount of tokens and minting NFTs. So, that whole narrative of the ETH killer may be a thing, especially in the small cap space.
Interesting. AJ, are you going to be fighting?
Am I going to be fighting?
Yeah.
No, I mean, so I was asked to fight, and I also said that I'm not going to fight like a random person or like nothing without a narrative. I actually asked George to ask DZ and Nick Demondi if they wanted to fight me, and they both said no. I don't blame them. But now, but for the next round, if you guys say yes and one of you beats me, you can have my purse and 3 Ethereum.
Wow.
On top of
Are you
that.
calling-
Let's make it happen.
Is this a call out on the show?
Yes, there was a call out on the show. There you go. Let them know. Let them know.
Are you
Shout out to my boys at Hit Network. Love you guys.
This is awesome.
It's all good.
Hey, man, I feel like as long as we're all making money, I feel like that's.
Real quick,
Absolutely.
I do want to give it a little love to the chat. We do got Mass Sauce, Eat Sleep, Jim, Jason V, Robert T, Mel F, Bun Drew, Mass. We got Rolando, Darren, Slim, Ben, Rocky, Dale F, Junior T, Skip, Sean, and Reg R. To all of you, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. Also, do us a favor. We're almost at 200 likes, so hit the like button. And then we also had a super chat, $1.99 super chat from D. Get rich or get wrecked.
Let's go.
Let's
Let's
go,
go.
baby.
Sold out in 10 minutes.
Bam. Where's
Right.
mine, bro? You didn't give us an honorary Sin City Crypto one?
Oh, I got a couple. So what he's talking about, Get Rich or Get Wrecked, is my clothing line. Just dropped it. The first, everything's limited edition, small batch. So the first batch came out today. It sold out in 10 minutes on the live stream. I got a couple extras made outside of because they're numbered 1 through 50, but I got like a couple extra for friends and family. I will ship a couple.
I do.
For sure.
That's what I'm
Get
talking
Rich or
about.
Get Wrecked, baby. Let's go. Appreciate you guys. The Groggers, I'm calling them. That's the community.
You
the
know who else,
Groggers.
you know who else is getting wrecked?
Kind of hits.
Yeah,
you know who
it
else is
slaps,
gonna get
right?
wrecked?
It slaps.
The SEC is about to get wrecked yet again as they have rejected Coinbase's request for crypto regulation. But Coinbase is going to be suing the SEC. Now, if you remember, this is going all the way back to 2022. Coinbase was saying, SEC, help us here. What is a security? What's not a security? Can we operate as a broker dealer? Can you? We have the license. Can you put it out there? Help us. They were getting nothing back from the SEC. So Coinbase went to the courts and demanded the judge demand the SEC respond to their emails, respond to their letters. The SEC finally did under court ruling, and they said, nope, the rules and regulations we have in place, they're good enough, to regulate the crypto markets. And then you have Paul Graywall, the chief legal officer of Coinbase, pretty much saying that we are going to sue the SEC. Has any SEC commissioner gotten sued more than Gary Gensler? Probably not. I'll kind of keep this one general. Anyone in studio here have any thoughts about Coinbase suing the SEC? Do you think that once the spot ETF gets approved, then the SEC is essentially going to be forced to kind of do things the right way or do it the way they're supposed to instead of kind of attacking some of these exchanges?
Not sure why we got to sue somebody to get
An answer.
clarity on the rules, right? Imagine if you were playing a sport and you had to, you were going to the ref and you're like, hey, what's the rules of this game? Like, you should know those. They don't really pertain to you. American soccer rules, are kind of like rugby rules. They kind of work together. Like, we're going to use that system.
But can I slide tackle or not? We don't know.
Well, no, but yeah, sure. That's the thing. It's just, there's no clarity. There's no path for a crypto company to set up shop here.
company.
Crippled company, exactly that. So there's no path for a company to set up shop here in the United States. That's why we're seeing all of these large crypto companies set up their headquarters overseas in Asia and a bunch of other places as well. I'm surprised that couch is holding up. Pretty good.
Right. Oh, especially this arm over here.
Strong casting couch.
Because my ass is fat. So I've got a little hot take. I'm just gonna join the couch for like just a second. You call it the casting couch, right? Okay.
Yeah,
Just wanted to be sure. I thought I didn't understand the rules of the game here. So I got a hot take on the SEC and suing people. That's what makes America not great. It's just what makes America America is the fact that we're so
You're taking off my
litigious.
glasses.
No, I'm not. Am I?
Yeah.
No.
About who has the
No
They're
way.
right here. We're good.
Okay.
We're good. Thank you.
All right. So no, I mean, as far as like, so the thing about clarity, the thing about getting some kind of court precedent, if you don't have case law, we tend not to respect things here. You can even say that something is a rule, and until there's some kind of a judgment in court, it's almost like it doesn't really count yet. And I'm not an attorney. I'm not giving financial or legal advice. It just seems like most of the time, if something's not tested in court, it's not real yet. So, I mean, the current administration or the current SEC, their approach, right, of regulation through litigation, being very sue happy, right, taking out the legal armament, the legal heavy artillery, and pointing it at crypto companies. They're just trying to chase down precedent, but they got the cart before the horse, right? They're saying, okay, well, whatever we do in this court. These court proceedings, this is going to help inform what we make the official rule moving forward, and it's court precedent now. So who's going to tell us no after the fact? Plus, it's a 2-for-1. We can take care of some of these crypto companies that we don't like for whatever reason, and get them off the board, so to speak, like so many pawns on a chessboard, because we're going to bleed them dry financially. So for them, it's a double win. It's a 2-for-1. They're like awesome hat trick even, because if some of these people are maybe have a checkered past, right, or if they are crypto builders who haven't been contributing to the rest of fintech, they're like, all right, well, we don't really want you building that direction. So if we can bankrupt your project and maybe you along the way, then that's really what we want, is to make sure we scare everybody else by hanging your dead corpse out in front of the town hall. So yeah, I mean, like, really, is anybody surprised that this is the American way? I mean, we're pretty gangster, actually.
Are we? Anyone else have any thoughts, AJ?
I don't know, man. The SEC, dude, like, come on.
Yeah, I mean,
Come on.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's just one of those things that, like, you know, it's so obvious you're in crypto. It's so obvious that they're only coming after because crypto, because it's a threat. That's the only reason. It really is that simple. Like, you know, we're a threat to the legacy system. Crypto is a way for blue-collar, everyday Americans to, like, get out of the 9-to-5. And, like, if people have a way to get out of the 9-to-5, who's going to work in the factories? Who's going to do this? Who's going to do that? We're like, crypto's messing with, you know, the system that they spent hundreds and hundreds of years creating, mainly, which is designed to suppress, 95% of society. So it's just like, of course, that they're going to make up whatever BS they can to try to, I don't know, man. I think crypto is the way out, and the fact they're coming at it this hard just kind of shows they're playing with their cards face up, and it's pretty obvious. They look stupid.
yeah, and first of all, agree, power to the people. And for Gary Gensler, it's like you go from wanting to work at Binance in 2019 as some sort of advisory role, right?
Yep.
You go from teaching blockchain courses at MIT, right? You miss the actual most crazy collapse in crypto ever with FTX. That went by, like, that slipped under your nose, but we missed Terra Luna, we missed FTX, we missed all the other ones. But then we're going after, Binance, we're going after Coinbase, Ripple and stuff like that. So it's all pretty shady, and it's obvious what they're trying to do. Like you said, they're trying to destroy the top people, the top projects in the space, get rid of the main characters, which they have mostly right now. CZ's gone, right? I think Justin Sun is next. Shout out to you, Justin Sun.
I agree, man.
Yeah,
I really agree with you.
Tron is just, I don't trust Tron.
I
at
agree
all.
with you.
But you know what I mean? It's just, it's all shady, and it's very obvious what they're doing. They're just trying to go after crypto main characters, the biggest cryptocurrency projects, to kind of scare the space in a weird way. And I do think FTX is going to reopen. I do think it is. And it may be the safest exchange, you could say, because of all the regulation, but I do think they're going to try to, like, weasel their way into cryptocurrency through the form of FTX. Because Gary Gensler's already tweeted about the possibility of that happening, which...
I agree with you. And, that might be the best thing for the people who have money locked on FTX. I know Robin's in this camp. We have this argument all the time of camp of let it die. Doesn't need to come back. But my thing is, if it comes back, the people that ruined it in the first place, they have nothing to do with the exchange. You have
just rebrand the thing.
Yeah.
sure, rebrand it.
Yeah.
But as long as I am for whatever gets people the most amount of their money back. That is my thing. That is what I'm for. And as long as things change and like Rodney mentioned, more than likely they're going to be well regulated. Like, can you really make that same?
Speaking of going after people, you see Richard Hart is on the run, and where is he at right now?
I heard he's in Turks and Caicos now.
Gucci store.
I'm
The
kidding.
at the
rumor
Gucci
was
store.
Moscow. I don't know if that's true.
Everyone
but
goes
I've
to
heard
Moscow.
Moscow.
Dude,
Isn't that where Julian or
I feel like
Yeah,
everybody,
Snowden too. Yeah.
like everyone's speculating here. Like, I think he's in Indonesia.
I mean, I would go to Moscow if I were him.
Putin ain't gonna hand you over. Anyone else want to speak? Evan, you want any thoughts on this SEC thing and then Gary Gensler and maybe do you think like do you believe that the SEC is definitely going to approve a spot ETF in January?
I don't know about January, but I think something like the article said earlier, first half of 2024, I think the odds are very, very, very high that we will get a spot ETF approved. I think it's going to be kind of like what happened when you saw the big news of like Tesla buying Bitcoin. Like we're already in that uptrend and it'll kind of like amplify a little bit towards kind of that area of the uptrend at some point kind of in 2024. There's always going to be that FUD, those articles, the SEC, Gary Gensler, who's a pawn, just a complete pawn. I mean, is always going to say those type of things. I mean, we could see right through them. It doesn't, you don't need to be a genius to kind of realize that. But look, I mean, we're getting to the point where the dollar is really being completely devalued. We're getting to the point where, let's be real. I mean, the U.S. dollar is starting to act like every other currency, every other fiat currency in the world, where we kind of just are going to keep interest rates low. We're kind of going to look the other way on this inflation, fudge the CPI numbers a bit, and just let commerce expand while the dollar declines. But on the really good bright side, we have other solutions. You know, our old antiquated solution was gold and silver. That's too heavy. More modern solution, Bitcoin. So, yeah, I'm positive for crypto, but it's kind of sad for a lot of the people who, you know, live paycheck to paycheck. They don't have the money to invest in crypto. They're not as educated about it. They don't really know about it. So, you know, that's where, you know, we always talked about how America has that strong middle class that nowhere else in the world really has. That obviously kind of is getting to the point where it was starting to end. So
I want to ask everyone a question. Okay. Are you guys more bullish for price on a Bitcoin spot ETF or an Ethereum spot ETF? And let me say this. You got to remember, Ethereum is deflationary. Ethereum has smart contracts. So as more people, Ethereum is not just like Bitcoin is mainly, I'm buying, I'm hodling, right? People send transactions here and there. Sure, you have ordinals. But Ethereum, people buy and hold. People buy and stake. People buy and use. Plus, it's deflationary. So if we can argue something similar as far as money flowing into a Bitcoin spot ETF and then an Ethereum spot ETF is here as well, what are you more bullish on? We'll start on the couch.
Also, big money is going to come in to Bitcoin. So.
Well, here's the thing, too. You got to remember.
Made a lot of bullish.
And one more thing I want to throw out there for Ethereum. Imagine the institutions that will buy Ethereum via an ETF, and that ETF provider, let's say BlackRock, now takes that Ethereum and uses a liquid staking derivative like Lido to gain some extra interest and pay it out as dividends to people who hold the ETF. We'll start on the couch first.
Yeah.
AJ, are you more bullish on an Ethereum or Bitcoin spot ETF with everything I just said?
100%. So to be honest with you, I think, you know, obviously it's kind of hard to not be bullish on the Bitcoin ETF, considering a lot of the hype that has got us up to this point in the market is based off of the back of the Bitcoin ETF. But to be honest with you, personally, I'm bigger on the Ethereum ETF because the Ethereum ETF opens the door that gives hope to the other altcoins eventually getting an ETF, the XRPs, the chain links, hopefully the Algorand. Like, you know, it's going to open the door of the conversation. Who's going to get one next? Who's going to get one next?
ETF,
but I mean, I'm just saying you never know because once it goes past Bitcoin, Pandora's box is opened, and that's where speculation will begin. And that speculation, that hype for, you know, the XRP or whatever coins in line next is going to pump, you know, those coins like we're seeing happening with Bitcoin right now. It's just going to happen a couple years down the road. So I got to be more bullish on the Ethereum for sure.
Seth, what about you?
Hey, in a rare moment, I can't be contrarian with what AJ's saying
Really?
here.
I did it. Let's go.
And here's why though, because so we were talking earlier about the Bitcoin ETF. I have some strong feelings about that. Part of it is whatever. I just a strong general mistrust of government. So when they take any kind of an asset that is where the key value proposition is that you can't rehypothecate, and they talk about an ETF, I don't trust these people. I don't trust them half as far as I can throw them, especially not to rehypothecate the core native asset. As soon as it's not on chain, these people can play whatever hijinks they want. That fits Ethereum perfectly.
That's fair.
So, and all of the tokenization, it's kind of the key value prop there is no, you can make derivatives, you can create tokens, you can literally print money if you want to with a few lines of code. Well, what could be better than that for institutions whose legacy is inflating the current fiat money supply by to devaluing it to like 97% or 99% down, as is the typical fiat sort of value life cycle. So I see it being a much better fit. And then not for the same reasons, I'm more bullish on the Ethereum ETF than Bitcoin.
I'll take it though. I'll take it.
Rodney,
All right,
what about
here we
you,
go.
man? ETH
Yeah.
or BTC?
Yeah, so that's tricky because I think the narrative for an ETH killer is bigger this next run than it ever has been. But I think that there was an article that was made by Joshua Jake talking about like ETHgate, where it shows that regulators were favoring Ethereum over other cryptocurrencies that you could say are pretty similar but not classified as securities. So I think that with the ETFs could make it way more bullish than Bitcoin. I mean, if you're like a person who's outside of crypto, you don't really understand what Bitcoin is, because I think that Bitcoin is just like, it's obviously on another level, right? True decentralized currency. It's like, it's different. I think all the issues that happen in cryptocurrency are centralization issues. And I don't think ETH is, ETH is like safe from that. You never know what's going to happen in the future. And, I heard they want to raise like, how many you need to stake in order to become a validator and those sorts of things. But I do think that if, regulators are going to show Ethereum favoritism compared to the other similar networks, I do think that, a spot ETF, Ethereum ETF will be a bigger deal.
Okay. Also, before I ask Robin, we got George in the house. I am George. We're all George. We're doing a special stream with him on Sunday. It's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure if you're not subscribed to Sin City Crypto, do so. Also, big shout out George. Said, talk about Snec. Rob already talked about Snec.
I was actually...
They got a bomb energy drink too, man. When I was at NFTXL.
I was watching George's show yesterday morning, and he was on the same narrative that I was, that what we've seen out of Bonk recently is something that you're going to see in other layer ones when they start rallying. Perhaps Cardano. We've seen a big move there, but we haven't seen a big move in Snec. And remember that the Bonk token has been out for, I think it might be a full year now.
Yeah.
It had a big pump initially when it first came out. Then it just had a snooze fest for about 10 months and then rallied. Very similar chart on Snec. So I think me and George kind of line up there. I don't know. Maybe he was watching Sin City Crypto and he took my play. But
just like you let him in the conference last year, man.
also, I do want to give a shout out to Mackie Powers, $10 super chat. He's a AJ fan. We got a few new people: Mark Salmon, Julio, Ada Singh, HB, Muhammad, Dexter, Big Bags, and Will Stops. To all of you, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. As far as this ETF is concerned, what is more bullish, an ETF for price? What is more bullish, an ETF for Bitcoin or ETF for Ethereum? Let's remove crypto from this. Let's remove crypto from this scenario. Let's bring up an analogy. If we had two ETFs go live at the same time for gold and silver, what do you think would catch more liquidity?
Gold.
Exactly.
That is why I'm like, why are y'all saying Ethereum?
So at the
You guys
end
are
of the
crazy.
day, like institutions, companies, hedge funds, they want a position on Bitcoin. They've been wanting it for a while, but they don't want the headaches of regulatory uncertainty. They don't want the headaches of who's going to custody it. What do I do with my seed phrase? Is the board members going to be okay with this? They can just simply pull the trigger. It will be bullish for both. I do lean more on Bitcoin just because institutions are going to pile in. And if institutions pile in, BlackRock is holding tons of Bitcoin. Perhaps we start seeing nation states allocate some of their own money towards Bitcoin as well. I think it's a domino effect, but I also kind of lean on Ethereum. So it's, but
Make a decision, man. Make
it's Bitcoin. But I'm just saying,
All right.
wouldn't be surprised if I was wrong.
Evan, what about you, man? Bitcoin or ETH?
Well, you got to look at it this way, and I'm a charts guy, so I look at it through the eyes of the charts. ETH is now bled 40% against Bitcoin over, about the last year, with the ETF and all that, and ETH is also more volatile and Bitcoin smaller market cap. I think there's no doubt that it would be more bullish for Ethereum in terms of the, gains that you could potentially make with price here. So, yeah, but I think we're not going to see them both come out at the same time. I think it's definitely going to be a Bitcoin spot ETF first, and then I don't know. I don't follow it that closely, but I think we could be years away from an ETH ETF.
I think they're both going to be very bullish, but to Rodney's point, Ethereum truly has, and I'm not going to say Ethereum killer, right? Ethereum truly has competition now. Solana, Avalanche, Cardano. Ethereum went to proof of stake. And we talked about this. It doesn't mean the transactions are going to be cheaper, but it's been a year? And still the same thing. I went to go swap like $80 worth of tokens, $30 fee, $30 transaction fee. So Ethereum's going to have a lot more competition. But like Robin mentioned, man, Bitcoin is gold. That is what the institutions, if they're going to make a crypto play, it's not going to be in an altcoin. It's going to be in Bitcoin. Sure, they might throw some money at Ethereum. Sure, the allure, you can do more. And like Seth said, rehypothecate and do liquid staking. But man, the gold standard is Bitcoin. I don't see a central bank or a nation state or a massive company put money into a spot ETF. Now, an Ethereum ETF. Now, as far as opening the door for other alts, I think the ETH ETF can have a bigger impact on the market in general. But as far as price of Bitcoin ETF when it goes live, price of Ethereum ETF when it goes live, I think it's going to be more bullish for Bitcoin. Going to be bullish for both, but if I had to pick one, I'm definitely going BTC. We do want to give one last shout out to our channel sponsor, Cam's Blue Wire Technology. If you want to learn how they can help your business grow, visit bluewiretech.com. Also, guys, I'm going to start dropping these guys' YouTube channels in the chat. So, Evan, any parting words? And I'm going to throw your YouTube channel here in the chat. Go and subscribe to all the guests, guys.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me on. You guys have an amazing studio. It's a fun time for crypto, guys. A really good time. I mean, I think we're in kind of the disbelief phase. There's a lot of new people coming into the space. There's a lot of those bears that are, still hollering about, how it could come down. But I think we're in this disbelief phase, and I think we got probably a generally bullish 2 years ahead of us. I think history will repeat. So I couldn't be happier to be in the space right now. I think we're in a great time, especially for ETH and good altcoins with good fundamentals. Don't get caught up with, like we were talking about earlier, some of these moonshots. You got to be careful with those. That's more of buy 10 of them and 1 or 2 go up 100x, and the rest of them go to 0. So
that's like coming to Vegas and putting $1,000 on it, hitting a hard 4.
Yeah. I mean, you got to be careful with that. But yeah, no, I'm so optimistic right now. I mean, I am very optimistic. So
AJ, what about you, my friend? And I'm dropping AJ's YouTube channel in the chat here. So
appreciate you guys. I've been on YouTube with my own channel for a whole 6 weeks now. 6 whole weeks. We've been doing this and somehow, win a Golden Upvote Award. That just shows, the community, we all vibed with each other. I'm all about, I was just a guy in the chat when I started, you know what I mean? And I just want a crypto education for everybody just to get involved. And, the social aspect of, if you've never been to an event yet, you haven't been to a conference, get out of the house, go meet some people. That's what it's really all about. And that's how you get a good circle of people around you. And then we're all making good decisions. You get in the group chats, you get in the Telegram groups, and that's how it happens. And that's how you get in good trades. If you're on the side, you're just starting, especially if you're just starting, you need to surround yourself by good people that are doing, making good trades, making good moves, and that's how you get to that next step. So really, it's just all about, get into that next step of your life. We might not have it all together, but together we could have it all. I kind of live by that quote. And, get rich or get wrecked, baby. Let's get it.
Rodney, what about you, my friend? Any parting words? And great to meet you last night, man.
Thank you.
Pleasure to have you on the show, brother. I'm going to drop your YouTube channel link in the description as well.
Yes, thanks for having me. And I know there's a bunch of degenerates out there. I'm a degenerate myself. But guys, the only difference between small caps and meme coins, the difference between leverage trading, gambling, sports betting, anything like that is the narrative that comes along with these meme coins. Trust no developer. And don't be afraid to venture outside of the Ethereum network, right? There's going to be tons of plays that are going to be less known on Avalanche, on Cardano, you're seeing right now with Solana. So just make sure you're aping safely and make sure you're not aping more than a certain amount. Most of your money should be in Bitcoin and real legit plays. If you're going to ape in the small cap realm, make sure it's a very small percentage of your portfolio. So just be safe out there.
That is some great advice. Seth, what about you, my friend? And I'm dropping his YouTube channel and link. You've been doing a lot of interviews lately, man.
Yeah, no, I definitely, I definitely have. It's been a change of pace for the Mind Your Biz channel. Still very active, and the big focus for me has been not only helping to highlight creators such as AJ, which we recorded before he launched his own channel. So I mean, hey, proof of being a fan before it was cool. Just saying, I think I can spot greatness from a mile away. I think AJ's.
alpha.
I mean, AJ, the proof's in the pudding. He's right
Proof
there.
of fan.
But I mean, the invite is always open. So characters like Evan, characters like Rodney, characters obviously like Rob and Dave, and Moon Daddy, who's in the studio. I love getting to explore the human element because I agree. You shouldn't just trust developers. And one of the things that I like to do, and I've been doing for 5 years, not only with privacy-oriented developers, little feather in my cap, first YouTube channel to publicly interview the earliest Monero developer, and then some of the earliest developers in the ZK Snark ecosystem. So nerdy stuff that I think would affect privacy, and I've been doing it for years.
I'll put it to you this way. When the whole Ledger fiasco went down yesterday, Seth was the first person I reached out to.
And bro, it gutted me that I could not break away from the travel obligations that I had at the time. All that is to say, that's kind of the change of pace. I think that people are fascinating. When you read the body language of a developer in an interview, it speaks volumes. Sometimes you can just tell, like, nah, this guy's full of shit. And you just trust your gut. If that's not a good fit for you, move on.
Watch AMAs, for the love of God. Just watch AMAs.
Watch AMAs.
And also, we do have a lot of new people here. So if you
Hold
haven't
on, man.
subscribed to
Hold on,
Sin
man.
City Crypto,
Got my boy RC back there.
Yeah,
RC,
no,
what's
and
up?
can I-
I'm just
can I
I'm
pump
plugging
up
our
our-
own channel here.
Okay, well, we plug our own at the end.
We got a lot of new people. So come check us out.
Yeah, let me
Yeah,
pump up
subscribe
RC.
button if you have
So
I'll get up.
an RC Crypto, what you might not know is that the Moon Daddy. Why is he the Moon Daddy? Because he sired Moonwalkers. They do an AMA. This guy knows a thing or two about interviewing developers and getting the AMAs done.
Yeah, and we have an AMA. It's Moonwalkers. Moonwalkers AMA is Moonwalkers MW on Twitter. But I wanted to say, kind of change gears a little bit and encourage everyone. This is the greatest transfer of wealth opportunity we may ever see. What's going on right now, this new bull run, and what's going to come, what's going to be developed, the opportunities. So I would say, make financial literacy, a #1 priority. Understand finances and understand the crypto space. And again, kind of latch yourself on to a gem hunter, or even people that do content specifically on the essentials like Bitcoin and Ethereum. But there are other chains, other tokens. Understand and educate yourself, because you have a great opportunity currently within the crypto space to change your life.
That sounds like a man who sees a grander vision than just, hey, let me make my next 100,000x. I agree with you, man. Greatest wealth transfer we're going to see. We're at the foundation level of the entire financial system of the world just being completely upended. And you're here watching. And as Robin mentioned, make sure you're also subscribed to Sin City Crypto. We dropped all of our guests' YouTube channel links in there. Go subscribe and support our guests. And with that being said, Rocco. Guys, that's my patented finger tornado. So if you ever use it, you got to make sure if you have a producer, you got to call out the producer and then like real fast and up in the air. Anyways, guys, hope you had a great time. Thank you so much for tuning in. We love you all. Have a great weekend. Tune in Sunday for a special live show with George Crypto. See you later, peace.
Crypto. Everybody know we here for entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in for big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I spit the game, but they gave it. Name the coin, it's your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy a dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming, hola, till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya, to the moon and to the solar. Won't don't be letting FOMO control ya. It's over when the finger tornado close ya.